Mr. Speaker, a great deal has been said about the border surge over in the Senate. And in typical Senate think, they have seen a problem and have decided to throw money at the problem, even if a lack of funding is not the problem in which they are facing. This map divides the country up into the Border Patrol sections. The numbers are from 1920, the numbers are different, or 2010. The numbers are different today, but obviously the ratios are about the same. In this year, one has to ask the question of why were 56 illegal entries apprehended in the main sector and 200,000 apprehended in the Arizona sector. What was the difference between those two? Look, if you were trying to sneak into a baseball game, something I'm not advocating, but if you were to try to do that, you don't jump over the turnstile where a cop is standing. You go around the corner and find the hole in the fence where no one will actually see what you're doing. The drug cartels are not stupid. They are looking for that hole in the fence. And obviously in this sector is where the majority of the illegals and the illegal drugs and the illegal human trafficking and potential of terrorism exists. So the question has to be, why is that the entrance level of choice? And it's actually very simple. This map, everything that is red is land that's owned by the federal government. In Arizona, 80% of the border is owned by the federal government. Over half of that is in wilderness category, endangered species, or conservation habitat category, where by special law, the legislation provides this land a special status which prohibits the Border Patrol from entering that area. They can't enter in a motorized vehicle. They can't even pedal a bicycle. They can go into that area by foot or on specially fed horses, and that is it. The drug cartel recognizes why this is there. They're not stupid, and they realize that this is the problem. When this Congress insisted they failed along the California border, we passed legislation that waived 40 environmental laws that were prohibiting the fence from being built. Those same 40 laws are the laws that prohibit the Border Patrol from going along the red areas of that border and doing their job, which simply means, as ironic as it sounds, federal law is stopping the federal Border Patrol from going on federal land to do a federal purpose, which is federally stupid. But that is indeed what we're doing. The Border Patrol is actually the ones that care about the environment. Drug cartels don't at all. This cacti, which was cut down by the drug cartel, is an endangered species. And it was cut down there to stop east-west access on the only road that is allowed the Border Patrol to follow in that particular area. This truck Thank you, Vanna White. This truck is a temporary sensor device in wilderness area. The Border Patrol wanted to move it from point A to point B. It took them 6 months to get approval by the land manager in that area before they could back the truck up and move the truck over to another step, because the land manager was not happy with the Border Patrol being in his wilderness territory. And the law was on the side of the land manager, not on the side of the Border Patrol. Look, the Senate has tried to say that they are coming up with a compromise solution to increase border security. In actuality, they have done just the opposite. They have put language in there that says Homeland Security Secretary can, notwithstanding any other law, require certain elements to be built in this particular area. But allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to have the political discretion on whether to do it or not. It allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to have immediate access into these border areas, but only in Arizona. If they go anywhere else along this border, they have to have the written approval of the Secretary of Interior as well as the Secretary of Agriculture. And most importantly, it says in there that the manner in which the Homeland Secretary shall make these decisions must be in the manner that best protects the natural and cultural resources on federal land. I'm sorry, as soon as they have put that language in there, it requires some bureaucrat to establish what the standard is, and it opens it up to someone else having litigation that is not the best standard possible. In essence, we're back in a worse situation. They wish to have another 20,000 Border Patrol agents. Like, this is what our fence looks like in Arizona today. Simply, this is a fence, this is Mexico, that's Arizona, and the open area is the animal habitat to allow animals to go back forth from Mexico and Arizona. The one road on here is the only road in which the Border Patrol is allowed to go. You can have another 20,000, you can have another 100,000 agents on that area, and you will simply find out that it still won't help unless you let them go outside of that one road. We don't need more money, we need access. What the Senate is proposing is actually worse than the status quo, and with that I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. McNerney, for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, the impact